This is CBC Nova Scotia News.
Tonight, a tiny home community. A resident moves into his new space on the site of a former tent encampment. GST holiday. Cape Breton food banks say the tax break won't help those who need it most. And world champion curler and former CBC broadcaster Colleen Jones is inducted into the Order of Canada.
The winds are easing, the skies are clearing, but the temperatures are dropping over the next couple of days as a chilly weekend is in store. Your full forecast is coming up.
Good evening. People are now living at the new tiny home community in Lower Sackville that was built at the site of a former tent encampment. The development is a supportive housing project in response to the housing crisis and provides fully furnished suites with wraparound help for people. The CBC's Gareth Hampshire followed one of its new residents as he moved in.
Jason Peckford's about to join the 10 other people who are now living at the new supportive housing project in Lower Sackville.
It's going to feel amazing. I can't wait.
He's moving from the Salvation Army's rapid rehousing program he credits for helping turn his life around. A recovering addict, things were desperate before that when he was homeless and surviving outside in a tent.
That was tough. It's cold at night. Not a lot to eat, I guess.
The latest numbers report more than 1,200 people are homeless in Halifax. As a result of the crisis, all of the programs at the Salvation Army Centre of Hope are almost always at capacity. So the centre's proud to see its residents rebuilding their lives.
We're really excited. You know, even as we journey through these days and we see the plans of stuff like the tiny home villages and to see them come into fruition and then actually see gentlemen being able to move in there and get that next step, the next step towards flourishing and being healthy in community. So excited for Jason and the others that are getting to move into this tiny home and this village. And it's just good to see those next steps happening in housing in our community.
He's leaving friends behind, but grateful for their support as well as the programs that have put him back on track.
They've helped me with everything: food, clothing, shower, a warm place to stay at night.
It's a big moment, too, for those who've supported him to get to this point.
It's so rewarding. It's essentially the heart of what we do, and just to be a part of this process is this amazing, incredible journey to be on.
He's moving into one of the units in this supportive housing project that only opened last month and has wraparound services to support the residents. The province provided more than $9 million for it to be built on the site of what was an encampment. There's space for 59 more people to move in, and the pace of that's expected to speed up.
I'm excited. I'm happy to start a new life.
Now he has a home, his next goal is to find a job. Gareth Hampshire, CBC News, Halifax.
The GST holiday will come into effect this weekend. But according to some food banks in Cape Breton, Justin Trudeau's tax break will not help them support the people who need it the most. The CBC's Kyle Moore has that story.
Loaves and Fishes Soup Kitchen and Food Bank in Sydney is feeding more than 160 people a day. The number of people coming through the doors increase this time of year. Marco Amati is the general manager. He says the food they buy is bought in bulk and tax-free. The 2-month GST break announced by the federal government will not help.
It'd be great if, if they took more taxes off oil or electricity.
Amati says the postal strike is also hurting them. 60% of donations come by mail.
We have a lot of donations from seniors, and it's tough for them to get in. I mean, with the weather and all that stuff. And also where we're located, downtown Sydney, parking is a tough job too.
The feds will slash the GST on some eligible goods and services, including prepared foods, restaurant meals, children's toys, books, and Christmas trees, among other items, between December 14th and February 15th, 2025.
It's not going to help us right now because everything that we need is bought.
Linda McRae is the coordinator of the Glace Bay Food Bank. She says the cost of just about everything is so high anyway, the tax break is barely noticed. McRae is also worried about the carbon tax increase in the new year.
We know come January, the food is just going to increase again. So it's a no-win situation, especially for food banks trying to supply everything that the clients need.
In addition to the GST holiday, the federal government is trying to help in other ways by issuing $250 checks to many Canadians. That money is expected sometime in the spring. Kyle Moore, CBC News, Sydney.
Premier Tim Houston increased the size of his cabinet today at a ceremony that saw familiar faces moved, new faces introduced, and the restructuring of several government departments.
This is a really exciting day, you guys. You have lots of access. You guys know that too.
Those were the only words Premier Houston said to reporters today. His government barred them from the ceremony and did not permit interviews after. The new 21-member cabinet includes first-time MLAs Leah Martin and Scott Armstrong. Armstrong takes on Opportunities and Social Development, a file formerly known as Community Services. Martin, the first Mi'kmaq MLA, gets all new affairs and is responsible for Youth and the Status of Women Act. John Lohr is the new finance minister. Brendan McGuire takes on education, and Becky Drouin is the new justice minister and attorney general. Fred Tilley was rewarded for crossing the floor the week before the election with the Public Works file, and Michelle Thompson stays on as health minister. Oh boy, Ryan, the winds were howling last night.
Yeah, they really were, and we've got the numbers to prove it here. Obviously, the numbers of power outages also proved that, with many outages last night into this morning. Those numbers have been dropping throughout the day. It was crews work hard to restore power. But look at these numbers. Again, widespread gusts in the 60 to 80 kilometer per hour range as expected, and some gusts that did exceed 80 to 90 kilometers per hour. Comoville, the Halifax airport peaked at 91 kilometers per hour, Truro at 89, and yes, in the Les Sweat winds, 109 there at Plateau. So 93 also at Sydney. Much later winds already, much later winds on tap for Friday. Westerlies, west to southwesterlies, sustain near 20, gusting 30 to 40 kilometers per hour. So a much more pleasant day, though a little bit of a bite to the air, no question, given the fact that temperatures are going to be at the freezing mark, give or take a degree. So we'll see a bit of a wind chill to the air, no question, feeling in the -5 to -8 range for the afternoon. As we watch that front move out, and a couple of flurries possible overnight into early Friday morning, but then we're generally quiet through Friday afternoon with a mix of sun and cloud to even mainly sunny skies. Slight risk of a flurry overnight Friday into Saturday morning, and staying in the mix for Saturday for Inverness County as those flurries blow onshore from the Gulf of St. Lawrence. But overall, that big blue H off to the west, that is moving in, and that is really bringing a favorable forecast for the next 3, as you can see. Temperatures cooler than seasonal, but lots of sunshine in the mix. Your 7-day forecast and what's ahead for next week still to come.
All right, we'll talk to you soon. Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you.
Well, the Quebec Maritime Junior Hockey League is hoping discussions with players about topics like consent will help create a better culture in the sport. Rookies coming into the league this year sat down with experts before the season to talk about how to be a good leader on and off the ice. Josh Hoffman reports.
Recent scandals involving minor hockey players who have been accused of sexual misconduct have raised questions about the culture around the sport and how some of these young men are behaving away from the rink. 5 former World Junior Hockey players are set to go to trial in the spring for sexual assault in relation to an incident in London, Ontario in 2018 involving a woman. In October, another woman alleged 8 former Ontario Hockey League players assaulted her in 2014. Before the start of this season, the QMJHL brought together all rookies for interactive sessions with experts who talked about things like consent, healthy relationships, and being a positive role model.
Well, there are definitely some mature topics, and I feel like being in this league and being a young guy, like, you definitely need to mature.
17-year-old Patrick McNabb said he thought the sessions were very helpful and thinks there could be even more workshops for players throughout the season. This year's sessions involved presentations from a criminal attorney, nurse, and a sexologist.
What I tell them is that consent is not so complicated. Today in the media, there's a lot of things that are like, okay, I need a contract to before having a first sexual relationship. But the idea, it's not so hard. It's just that you have to be aware about the other person, just to make sure that the other person feels good and you'll be okay.
Lavoie says young people typically want to talk about these things, and they need good role models who will listen.
I've been in sports my whole life, and just the relationship you have with your coach can have an impact. How coaches talk to them, the pressure they put on them. You don't have to be on top every day, anytime, and you can say it when you don't feel good.
A spokesperson with the league told CBC News these sessions with players are still a work in progress, and they'll make changes going forward as they see needed. He said the important thing is that they hold these sessions every season for new players coming into the league so they can create a culture that promotes good leadership on and off the ice. Josh Hoffman, CBC News, Halifax.
A federal fisheries officer has been suspended for 10 days without pay for his role in arresting 2 Mi'kmaq elver fishers late at night and releasing them only in their sock feet. The fishers were arrested last March as they fished for baby eels near Shelburne. They say 3 fisheries officers confiscated their phones and hip waders before leaving them at a gas station about a 45-minute drive from where they had been fishing. The incident led to a number of protests. A source who didn't want to be identified due to potential employment repercussions reported to Canadian press that many DFO enforcement officers in Nova Scotia and New Brunswick booked off on mental health leave Wednesday to protest the penalties involved. Well, Halifax Water says drinking water fluoridation has resumed at the Pockwalk Lake water supply plant. Last month, Halifax Water apologized and said it should have told customers about water fluoridation interruptions that have been going on for more than a year at its Pockwalk Lake and Lake Major facilities. The Nova Scotia Dental Association criticized the utility and the province's Chief Medical Officer of Health for the lack of transparency. The utility says it's still evaluating options for adding fluoride back into the system at Lake Major. Well, throughout the holidays, people all over Nova Scotia are filling all kinds of needs in their communities. Among them is Ardra Cole, who's helping seniors care for their pets. Elder Dog started as a local service in Dartmouth in 2012, but the love has now spread across the country. Ardra's organization offers dog walking and other essential services for seniors and their pups, and it's all done on a volunteer basis. CBC spoke to Ardra about the importance of Elder Dog.
We support older adults who are living at home with a canine companion and maybe need a little bit of extra help in order for them to stay together. And we also find loving new homes for older dogs who lose their senior companions. Maybe they have passed away or moving into a facility where dogs are not welcome, or for any other reason that they're no longer able to care for their canine companion. So we really support that relationship because we know that at older age, that companionship is more important than at any other stage of life. It makes a world of difference. I mean, just yesterday I was speaking with an older adult who has an illness that prevents her from getting out to walk her dog, and her dog is her life, her family, her everything. And, without the help of what she calls her elder dog angels, she would not be able to have that loving companionship. So, we make a world of difference to people. And really, there's small acts of kindness for us. But for someone who's not able to, for whatever reason, drive or get out to walk a dog or to get to the store to pick up dog food, it's life-changing. It really is a lifeline.
Colleen Patricia Jones.
And we want to send a huge congratulations to our former colleague, Colleen Jones. She's been invested in the Order of Canada. Jones was appointed to the order back in 2020, but received the accolade today in Ottawa. For more than 40 years, Jones has paved the way for women in sport and broadcasting. She is a 6-time national and 2-time world curling champion. A very pretty sunset from earlier this evening over Halifax. Ryan's up next with his weather forecast. We'll see you in a few minutes. So yeah, lots of branches down. Hopefully some holiday decorations managed not to fly away.
Yeah, my Frosty had a bit of a lean on this morning, but
he's okay?
He's all right. He's all right. But
and
yeah,
better times ahead for Frosty, right?
definitely calmer, a little frostier as well, which is all good for Frosty, of course. Before we get to the forecast, I want a quick shout out to the grade 4s and 5s that I had a chance to visit with this morning.
That's a good-looking group. Who's that guy way in the back?
Yeah, that big kid. Elmsdale District Elementary. This class was fantastic, and they were just so engaged. Great questions, and really appreciate this group. They were really engaged. So this is the last one for this season, and a couple more set for the new year. But always love to get into the schools across the province.
They didn't stump you, did they?
They didn't stump me today, but boy, they were close. They were close for sure. So let's have a look at our high temperatures today, and you can see where we were. Very, very warm. 15 Cheticamp, 14 Ingonish, 13 at Sydney. And yeah, those temperatures this morning, quite mild indeed. And as we look at the temperatures out there right now, you can see we have fallen anywhere in the 3, 4, 5, 6 range, 8, 9 degrees. Cheticamp towards Ingonish Beach and Sydney at 7. And those temperatures have been dropping thanks to this westerly wind, west to southwest wind, which has been funneling into the province. And it's been easing, but it will continue to be pretty gusty in through the next couple of hours. Note sustained winds in the 20, 30, even 40 range in through Yarmouth. And that last check, we're gusting to 61 still in those onshore winds coming in from the Gulf of Maine and through the Bay of Fundy as well. Some pretty gusty winds here and into Cape Breton as well, gusting towards 30 kilometers per hour. But all said, much lighter than last night, of course, and even a few rumbles of thunder from that line, which did roll through. Now, as we back things out, we've got a couple of flurries still in the mix here in the wake of that front, firing up some onshore flurries for the Great Lakes as we speak. And you can see that generally the air mass here is quite chilly all the way back towards Western Canada into the minus 20s. Regina, Winnipeg, minus double digits all the way down as far south as Chicago at this hour. So this is a pretty cool air mass. It's going to be modified, but it is rolling in, and we'll certainly keep our temperatures cool, cooler than average, in fact, for the next couple of days. So let's walk you through the timeline. So yeah, we'll see as we work our way through tonight into tomorrow, couple of flurries possible for northern areas of the province overnight, even down towards the Halifax area. Can't rule it out. That chance of a flurry does continue into tomorrow morning, then wrapping up into the afternoon. The only exception I would say is perhaps Inverness County might see an onshore flurry into the afternoon. And there's another possibility of some flurries for Friday evening, as you can see here with this model depicting that. So we'll keep an eye on that, but looking very, very light. Certainly the possibility of some flakes though. Tomorrow, southwest winds, 20 gusting to 40 for Cape Breton, and also for Guysborough, and also into Antigonish at temperatures right near 1 or 2 degrees. For central parts of the province, we're going to be talking about temperatures right near the freezing mark for tomorrow. Westerly winds 20 near gusting 30 to 40, and for western parts of the province as well, temperatures right around the freezing mark. So really our overnight lows around -2 to 0 are going to be, we're basically steady there again for tomorrow. Saturday, a bit cooler indeed. Temperatures -2 to -4. Onshore flurries for Inverness County, Port Hawkesbury, and Sydney also possibly into the mix with these. You can see with this cold air coming over top of the warmer waters of the Gulf of St. Lawrence, these snow squalls that are going to be really firing up for Newfoundland. The wind direction is key, and so yeah, Inverness likely getting clipped with some of these, but the mainland will be into the sunshine in this area of high pressure, throwing maybe a bit more cloud cover into the mix for Sunday, but overall expecting a fine weekend indeed. Temperatures a bit cooler than where they should be for this time of year, no question about that. -2 to -4 for both days. We should be just on the plus side. Fine for Monday, chance for showers, a good chance for showers, in fact, on Tuesday, and then keeping an eye on Thursday for some more rain and possibly some wind with that. We'll keep you posted.
All right, thanks for that, Ryan.
Thank you.
Coming up, deadly addiction. We put a spotlight on the drug overdose problem in one rural Nova Scotia community. Welcome back. Nova Scotia has a drug overdose problem, and increasingly it's becoming deadly. In fact, fatal drug overdoses are climbing in some communities, but it might surprise you where. As Tom Murphy tells us, it's led to a call for action for some.
You grow up with them your whole life. All of a sudden, you know, they're dying of drug overdoses. They're here one minute and gone the next.
Are you concerned about your friend overdosing? Well, if they don't die today, they're just going to die tomorrow.
I ended up doing funerals for 2 of those individuals. Families were devastated.
You know, we can't police our way out of this.
This has turned into a huge epidemic.
It's a reality that's becoming difficult to ignore. The odds of a fatal drug overdose in many rural communities in Nova Scotia are considerably higher than in the province's largest centres. People are dying at rates never seen before. One woman in northern Nova Scotia is determined to change that. Ashley Legier runs this emergency shelter and support centre in Amherst, Nova Scotia. Once briefly homeless as a teen herself, she grew up in these parts. Her own mother recovered from addiction years ago. Maybe that explains Legier's calling.
I had someone come in here the other day who gave me their sobriety date and said if it hadn't been for you and your organization, I'd be dead, or at least wouldn't be sober.
And yet she realizes the problem here is so much bigger. Legier says between Cumberland County and nearby Sackville, New Brunswick, she knows of 24 people who have died of drug overdoses since 2019.
So substance use has been happening since the time of Dionysus. We're not going to stop substance use. All we're doing is making it safer. Because if you die while you're using substances, there's no chance for you to recover.
It's a little much some days, and
Reg Katopel is a regular at Legier's facility. He's addicted to crystal meth, which these days is increasingly found laced with fentanyl and xylazine, a powerful animal sedative known as tranq. It's wreaking havoc on the streets of some U.S. cities right now. Katopel knows people in Cumberland County are playing a kind of Russian roulette.
I believe people are waking up to the realness of it all, and we've had some ODs and some deaths, some loved friends, and some stuff go on, and I think it's brought a lot of awareness to the topic.
Our members have been trained with Narcan for, 4 or 5 years.
Amherst Police Chief Dwayne Pike and his officers are seeing more evidence of tranq on their regular patrols.
I just seen, his teeth were gone. He was, very, very thin, very haggard, sores on his face, sunken eyes, and you could just really see where it took an enormous toll on that person's, physical well-being.
And to you, that's evidence of what kind of drug?
That would be, meth, fentanyl, xylazine, those kinds of things.
Tranq.
And tranq, yeah. So this fella here,
yeah.
I mean, these are guys that I've known for 20, 25 years.
Is that right?
And now, unless I really took a really deep, good look in their face,
You don't recognize him?
No.
People once known as a part of the community being lost to the shadows. Frustration with a growing problem has led to a realization that a change in approach is needed.
A different kind of solution that, we can't police our way out of. And trying to bring that to the people in the community to make, help them understand exactly how it impacts the individual in the community and whatnot. It's just, my mind has been changed on it, sure, but there's a lot of people out there that still don't really understand exactly how complex it is.
In rural communities, there's a lack of so-called harm reduction services compared to larger cities, which might explain the recent uptick in fatal overdoses. But what to do about it? One possible solution might be next door in Sackville, New Brunswick. So what's in here?
So this is the vending machine.
It's called a harm reduction vending machine.
Because it is essentially a gigantic iPad. You're able to watch the naloxone training on the screen, and it shows you what's in the kit, what the resources are, how to get support.
Education that might eventually help someone free themselves of the grip of drugs.
And you have an injectable naloxone kit. Having resources in your community, having a space that is low barrier, trauma informed and non-judgmental space to access resources, people are 40% more likely to access treatment programs. So just by existing, by not doing anything else, just by existing in your community, people are more likely to access the support that they need to go into recovery programs. So that's just sort of what we're doing here.
There was some pushback in the community. Were they aiding drug abuse, some asked? But mostly there was desperation to do something to help, according to Minister Lloyd Bruce at the United Church that houses the vending machine.
There were 3 overdoses in this community, and I ended up doing funerals for 2 of those individuals. Families were devastated, and they were accidental overdoses. Addicts, by very nature of their addiction, will use. If the machine provides the material that keeps one person alive for another day, and on that next day they just might make a different choice, then it's worthwhile.
Now, Leger is trying to get these machines into rural Nova Scotia communities, including Amherst. Meeting people where they are is the key to battling drug addiction, according to artist John Claytor.
I personally deal with addiction, and one of those is alcoholism.
It's why he and Leger are producing zines, comic stories about treatment and recovery to help reach and educate people on the street.
I think part of it is it's not institutionalized. It doesn't seem like you're being preached to or educated in that sense. It's you come to it with curiosity, and somebody hands it to you. It's there's no pretension. It's the way that it's being handed around and left on tables and things. It's it's like the internet in real life. Yeah.
Leger is also educating bar staff in town on how to spot an overdose and treat it with naloxone or Narcan. And they believe the number of fatal drug overdoses here is coming down. But back in Amherst, more proof of the challenges ahead.
It's not uncommon for my members to come back and say, we're finding that Narcan's not working.
With the more powerful tranq mixed into the drugs now on the streets,
place a rescue breathing barrier mask if you have one.
It means more education for officers, too, learning the breathing techniques to try to keep someone alive one more day in hopes they might find recovery tomorrow.
I'm not trying to change the world because it seems impossible, but if I change one person's world, that's everything, right? That's the whole thing.
Tom Murphy, CBC News, Amherst.
Coming up, the Prime Minister and the Premiers prepare to beef up the border in the wake of Donald Trump's tariff threat. And power sharing agreement. Newfoundland and Labrador and Quebec sign an historic deal to spread the wealth from the Churchill Falls hydroelectric plant. Welcome back. Ottawa is preparing to release details about its billion-dollar border plan in the coming days. Canada's premiers got an early heads-up Wednesday during a call with the federal government. They're talking about getting tougher with their U.S. counterparts, but as Olivia Stefanovich reports, not all premiers agree on the same approach.
Canada is full of natural resources Americans may no longer be able to rely on. If Donald Trump moves forward with his threat to impose a 25% tax on all Canadian goods.
We power 1.5 million homes, and if they put on tariffs, it's going to be unaffordable for Americans to buy electricity.
Ontario Premier Doug Ford doubling down on a counter threat he made in last night's call between the premiers and the Prime Minister.
We're going to use every tool in our toolbox to defend Ontarians and Canadians across the border.
Well, that's okay if he does that, that's fine. But
critical minerals, metals, and forestry products may also become part of the retaliation strategy.
The U.S. is trying to build homes for Americans, but they need our 2x4s to do so.
But premiers are divided about how hard to punch back.
Under no circumstances will Alberta agree to cut off oil and gas exports.
Alberta Premier Danielle Smith says she prefers a diplomatic approach, and she's not alone.
We hope it is just bluster. We're preparing as if it is not. There will be no winners in a trade war.
I had the chance to meet with Mr. Trump last weekend in Paris, and he told me very clearly that we can avoid those tariffs if we do what needs to be done with the borders.
The U.S. president-elect wants Canada to stop the flow of fentanyl and illegal migrants crossing the border. The federal government shared details about its plan to address Trump's concerns, said by sources to cost more than $1 billion during their call yesterday with premiers.
We were encouraged by their desire to contribute provincial personnel, provincial assets to this work.
Alberta released its own plan today to strengthen its border with Montana. Other provinces are expected to follow. As for the federal government's border strategy, well, the public safety minister says it will be released to the Trump administration in the coming days and the Canadian public. Olivia Stefanovich, CBC News, Ottawa.
U.S. President-elect Donald Trump seems to have a new fixation, and that's repeatedly mocking this country and Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Katie Simpson spoke to people close to Trump about his plans for Canada.
Since the Mar-a-Lago dinner, Donald Trump has made repeated cracks about Canada, joking it could be the 51st state if he tanks the Canadian economy with tariffs, even calling the Prime Minister Governor Justin Trudeau of the great state of Canada.
No one seriously thinks Trump wants to annex Canada, but what's up with this? Why does he keep saying it? We asked someone who's very familiar with Trump's thinking.
He can be mean at times, and I think he's poking at Justin Trudeau and trying to humiliate him. And I think Trump gets a laugh from it. I think it's that simple.
Ambassador John Bolton says Canada needs to play into Trump's ego in order to avoid his tariff threat.
Make the case not why the threat will hurt Canada, but why not invoking the tariffs will help Trump. Forget about U.S.-Canadian relations. That's not the issue for Trump. What makes Donald Trump look good?
Trump's comments are getting some laughs on Capitol Hill.
I wouldn't want a 51st state if they're just going to vote for Democrats.
Why do you think Donald Trump keeps saying that? He said it 4 times now.
I don't know.
Jokes aside, the tariff threat is seen as very real.
Oh, I think he's serious about it, for sure.
Republican Senator Kevin Cramer urged Ottawa to meet Trump's demands to curb the flow of migrants and illegal drugs into the U.S.
We just need to get compliance, and then we'll be fine.
So did Texas Republican Senator James Lankford.
And if there's not solutions, yes, tariffs are in his back pocket.
And Trump's incoming energy czar, North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum.
We've got to make sure that we're stopping the flow of fentanyl from the Canadian border as well.
Is that a big concern for you?
10% of the illegals are coming from Canada.
Canada is preparing to spend $1 billion to improve border security and plan to telegraph the changes to Trump in the hopes it will satisfy the incoming president. Katie Simpson, CBC News, Washington.
CBC News has learned the federal government has closed a major loophole in its gun buyback program. As Jonathan Gatehouse explains, parts that could be used to make homemade guns will now be included.
Yeah, so if you look at this wall here,
this room in Wes Winkle's gun shop has become a sort of museum. Stacks of assault weapons still in their boxes, collecting dust. Paid inventory banned from sale for almost 5 years. But even as the federal government prepares to finally start buying back those guns, there's a new development: the quiet addition of assault weapon parts to the program.
Kind of joke called the Mr. Potato Head of guns, because there's so many plug-and-play parts that are involved in it. So if you don't encompass all the parts, really there's no public safety enhancement you could ever argue.
To restrict access to the very weapons used to commit these horrible crimes.
At a news conference about the buyback plans last Thursday, parts were never mentioned. Now, CBC News has learned the government has since quietly updated its website with a list of components it will be paying for, including bolts, magazines, sights, and grips, along with a wide assortment of barrels.
I think the cost of the program is going to go up dramatically with the inclusion of parts, but also just trying to catalog and get these firearms destroyed. I do expect the administration to be quite expensive.
Back in 2021, the Parliamentary Budget Officer estimated the cost of the buyback at $756 million plus administration, a figure that was already sure to rise as the list of banned weapons has grown. And that estimate never included parts. Gage Hobrick has been tracking the assault weapons ban for the Canadian Taxpayers Federation.
You talk to any firearm owner, they'll probably have just as many firearms accessories as they do have firearms, especially for some of these really expensive guns that are going to be on this buyback list. So all it's going to do is add very much increased cost to taxpayers.
Just how much remains to be seen. Last week, public safety officials said they're still working out the new price tag. A CBC News request to interview Public Safety Minister Dominic LeBlanc about the changes was declined. But even as the expanded buyback finally gets underway, its future is in doubt. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre has vowed to cancel what he calls a gun grab if his party wins the next election. Jonathan Gatehouse, CBC News, Toronto.
Quebec and Newfoundland and Labrador's long-standing Churchill Falls dispute may at last be resolved. The premiers announced a tentative agreement today, drastically reallocating the hydro plant's profits in Newfoundland's favor.
Today, everything changes for Newfoundland and Labrador.
The contract governing the complex in Labrador dates from 1969. Under its terms, Hydro-Quebec, a key investor, bought and resold most of the power at a fixed price, eventually amounting to a fraction of market rates. Today's agreement makes that price 30 times greater. Hydro-Quebec will also pay another $3.5 billion in return for involvement in new installations. Data shows that most of the RSV infections this season have been among babies 1 year and under. A Health Canada-approved immunization has been seen to dramatically cut the risk of hospitalization. Mike Crawley looks at why that protection remains out of reach for many infants in the country.
Welcome to the RSV clinic.
A clinic to immunize babies against respiratory syncytial virus, or RSV.
My love. It's okay.
Some 3,000 Canadian children are hospitalized annually with lung infections resulting from RSV, most of them infants.
Those with more severe disease may have things like wheezing, some difficulty breathing. They may look distressed or incredibly tired.
Now there's a new shot against RSV, approved by Health Canada and recommended by the National Advisory Committee on Immunization for all infants.
I'm very grateful that he is protected and that it's covered by the government.
However, only Ontario, Quebec, and the 3 territories are offering it to all newborns. In the rest of the country, except for the highest risk babies, parents don't get the option.
I wish we had this as well, this opportunity to give her the injection so she would have that same protection as other babies in other areas in Canada.
Why the disparity? The other 8 provinces could not reach a pricing deal with the company that makes the RSV shot. Its Canadian list price is more than $950 per dose.
One reason why the RSV shot costs that much? It's a monoclonal antibody. So unlike a vaccine, it protects against disease immediately.
That is particularly useful in the scenario of RSV, where we know that the risk is greatest during those first few months of life.
In a statement, drug maker Sanofi says it continues to work with all provinces and territories to facilitate access to the shot for all Canadian babies for 2025 and beyond. Data from Europe and the US suggests the shot reduces infant hospitalizations from RSV by more than 80%. Mike Crawley, CBC News, Toronto.
A new report is drawing attention to a troubling financial burden being borne by cancer patients in Canada. Turns out they and their families spend several thousands of dollars on expenses not covered by our universal healthcare system. CBC's Jennifer Yoon has the details.
When Vanessa Percoco was diagnosed with advanced colorectal cancer at 31, she expected to take time off work. What she didn't expect was that fighting the disease would be so expensive.
Medication, colostomy bags, going to the hospital, the gas, the parking tickets.
Throughout 2 years of treatment, she paid more than $4,000 out of pocket for prescription drugs alone and struggled to pay her bills.
I was like, should I get the medication to feel better during chemo, or should I keep the money to pay my rent?
A new report from the Canadian Cancer Society suggests she's not alone. Across Canada, patients and their loved ones spent approximately $7.5 billion in 2024 on cancer-related expenses. Out-of-pocket costs include transportation, medical devices, drugs, and more. All this adds up to an average of approximately $33,000 per patient.
There are individuals that are at lower income or fixed income, individuals in rural and remote locations, which can really feel this impact.
Some say it's a wake-up call.
We need to have some very serious discussions about this to ensure that we have equitable access.
Many patients who can't afford extra costs turn to fundraisers. On GoFundMe alone, thousands of people are looking for help, paying for housing, travel costs, or treatments that aren't covered by Medicare.
Not everyone is fortunate enough to have family that supports them, or or have a community that is able to provide that extra support.
Experts are hoping this report starts a conversation and gets policymakers to take action so cancer patients don't have to rely on the generosity of others to fight the disease. Jennifer Yoon, CBC News, Toronto.
Ski season is underway in much of the country, including in Ontario. But with warmer winters in recent years in that province, for some resorts, snowmaking machines have become an integral part of the business. Tyreek Reed reports.
It looks like this year, with the forecasts and the temperatures that are in place, we should be wide open for the holidays.
Those are words that snowboarders and skiers have waited all year long to hear, many finally returning to the slopes. And despite some mild temperatures and dry conditions across the province, ski destinations like the Horseshoe Resort say this year they're relying on their own snow to keep things running.
We have, from one end of the resort to the other, all new semi-automated snowmaking system, and it really allows us to make a lot of snow in a short period of time.
He says without the machines, the resort wouldn't have opened as early as it did because of warm temperatures the province has seen, which has left some businesses preparing for worst-case scenarios, even if they're pricey.
We're in the second year of a multi-million-dollar investment in snowmaking. So our operators have done a lot of what you see behind me. We have twice as many snow guns on that trail, and we're building that up across the resort. So yeah, it's all about being efficient and responsive to what Mother Nature does hand us each winter.
She says the past 2 seasons were challenging for ski resorts across the province, but says this year weather conditions could finally see business return to normal.
I think we're looking at the forecast and listening to every meteorologist who will talk to us. And grateful to hear that with a La Nina winter, we're going to see a lot of natural snowfall and those cold temperatures where we can be making snow. So it's going to pay off being a skier or a rider this season.
And a snowy season also means a busy one.
We're out here and we're skiing, and the conditions are pretty good for preseason, and it's any bonus day before Christmas is awesome.
Yeah, so much fun, great activity.
Yeah, come ski and snowboard, have fun, yeah.
Businesses say if people want to ski this winter, then it's best to book a trip soon while there are still spots left. Tariq Reed, CBC News, Toronto.
So a beautiful rainbow you were showing us earlier, and then the sun's coming.
Yeah.
That's even more exciting, I think.
The sun is coming indeed, and it is going to be, a chilly couple of days, but a bright couple of days, and no question about that, and we'll take it where we can get it, for sure.
After this time of year.
Yeah, for sure, and a little spoiler alert from Amy about the viewer picture of the day. So have a look at this. We're going to zoom in on, East River. And
you gave me a sneak peek of that earlier. Sorry, I didn't mean to spoil it.
It's a beautiful shot. And as the skies cleared today, of course, we went from the rain to the sun. And I mean, that's a sign of things to come, right? As the rain clears, and a beautiful shot from Wendy Cook. And thanks to Wendy. From Ryan's Picks at cbc.ca, there's the forecast for tomorrow. Does look lovely. Some sun, some cloud. Chance for a few flurries in the morning, but generally just a terrific day. And more where that came from from as this area of high pressure off to our west moves into the region, and that is really going to be, just bringing a whole lot of sun in the coming days. So looking good right through the weekend. Temperatures warming up for next week with a chance for showers, and we'll have to keep an eye on that Thursday system. Looks like maybe some snow involved for parts of the Maritimes.
Okay. Well, poinsettias are red and Christmassy, but did you know the plant is originally from Mexico and its Spanish name translates to Christmas Eve? Producers in Mexico City use traditional methods to grow them on floating gardens, and customers come from far away to buy the plants from greenhouses near canals. It's a local tradition to adorn homes, churches, even roads with this sea of red during the holiday season.
The English name comes from Joel Robert Poinsettia, and he was the first U.S. ambassador to Mexico who took the plant back to his home state of South Carolina in the 1820s.
Didn't know that. Yeah. All right, well, that's it for us tonight. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Good night.